Y'all, the technical difficulties I had. Oh, sorry, I had to check the audio too. Well, if any of you guys are here, welcome. If any of you guys aren't here, understandable. Completely understandable. My goodness. I honestly was about to give up. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm going to make this a shorter live stream because I started, almost an hour late. 45 minutes late. Hey, Angel. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable, you guys. I'm glad I made it, though. That was so unbelievably frustrating, though. Like, I kid you not. So, I had the live stream all set up. I had OBS on. I pressed start streaming and it froze. And nothing, and it just stayed frozen. And I was like, okay. And then I reset so I turned my computer off. Like, I just shut it down. Or my laptop, sorry. And turned it back on, and it wouldn't even turn back on. It was just like loading screen for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, okay, shut it down again, turn it on again. Waited like a whole other 15 minutes, and it finally turned on. And then turned OBS on, and even then it wasn't acting completely normal. So I was literally about to like call it and be like, we're gonna do this tomorrow. Oh man, what a day! What a day! What a night! But yeah, so kind of a failure of a live stream, honestly. But if you're here, welcome. It was just gonna be a hangout stream anyway, so I didn't really have too much planned. I thought it would be fun to like talk about what we want to see at the nurses' ball if anyone's here. But yeah, other than that, we're just chilling. And yeah, apologies again. I hate when I have technical difficulties. I should have seen it coming too because my hey Coretta, my laptop was acting really weird. When I turned it on earlier today, so I was like, okay, that's strange. But alas, here we are. How are you all enjoying General Hospital this week so far? I don't know how I feel. It's not. I feel like it's not that interesting so far this week. DC, yeah, that's me. Man, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when the chat told me about you guys like doing your stream and mentioning my show, I was like, what? I still get shy, and it's funny because like you guys always like come into my chats every now and then. You, James, even Albert. I don't know if Brock ever has, but I always get so stoked when you guys mention me because y'all are like, you know, the MVPs of the GH and like soaps in general, like chats on YouTube. Yeah, I hope your weeks are going okay so far. If you're just tuning in, we had technical difficulties. We were supposed to start literally 45 minutes ago, and my laptop froze, and so I've been fighting to turn it back on this whole time. I did, Coretta. I did have my heart set on Cam becoming a bad boy. I'm sad that he's leaving. And I don't know anything about why the actor is leaving either. Like, do we know why he's leaving? And do we know if he's just leaving for a bit? Like, what's the situation there behind the scenes? Because I haven't really paid much attention. Yeah, but DC, you're already legendary in your own right. Um, I just, I have my channel, my show, and it wasn't always a live stream either. Y'all live streamed from the jump. I didn't. I would do my show like in a different room in my basement, and it wasn't even live. It was just this edited, scripted, thing. And truthfully, I only started live streaming because a lot of my videos when I was editing later on, it was things would crash because I have so many other video projects saved on my computer. And then there would be days where I couldn't upload a show because it just wouldn't save or things like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet and live stream. Actually, funny enough, the very first live stream I ever did wasn't even on my channel. It was on James's. He invited me to one of his shows. I forget what the show was called. I don't remember what it was called, but we were talking about Cyrus Renault and Dirty Deeds. I think we were just discussing Cyrus Renault. Guys finally met. DC's been in the chat before. Oh, Angel, you said Dex should have been with Christina. Yeah, looking at the scenes, I said the same thing today, Angel, to my mom. I was like, man, Christina and Dex actually have chemistry too. I wouldn't hate them. I'd probably like them more than Dex and Joss. GH Dirty Deeds, yeah. Now, question, Dion. I ask everybody this question. If you had to marry someone in Port Charles, who would it be, and where would you work in Port Charles? Oh, man. I gotta think long and hard because, if you don't know, DC, I'm very much, I'm a veteran, lover. I love all the, old school characters. And so, my mind just goes back to, the legends of the 80s and the characters back then, and if I lived back then, I'd definitely marry some of those characters. But if we're talking today's characters, man, I don't know who would I marry. I don't even want to marry anyone in real life. I'm very independent that way. But who would I marry? I'm gonna just go with the notion that it's present day cast, just to help myself out a bit. And if I had to, man, I'd marry Mac. I would marry Mac Scorpio. Come on, outstanding citizen, good guy. He'd be a good father. He's a silver fox. Yeah. Oh, where would I work? Where would I work in PC? Charlie's. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to work in a pub per se. Realistically, I would try to get... I mean, okay, if I could just pick any kind of job that's not even really a job in Port Charles, I'd want to do something in music there too, dang. And I would actually just go, if Cam didn't move away, I would try to get Cam famous, because he's the actual good singer on the show. And he's already got a band in real life. It'd be me versus Brooklyn. Taiwan, you said, I wish. That's what I said. I would have rolled you around. Oh, man. Christina would be less whiny, and she understands the business. True. Yeah, there's no ill-conceived notion when it comes to the mob for Christina. She done got caught in explosions herself back in the day. Scott's daughter from the 90s, Kaiwan? Or Nell Benson. Oh, or Nell Benson. Oh, no. Man. But yeah, Mac. What about you, DC? I'm gonna flip the question. Who would you marry in Port Chuck, and where would you work? Angel, you would work at the hospital? Well, of course you would. As a doctor, since getting into medical school and becoming a doctor is quicker than real life. Because the real life is struggle is rough. Yeah. I remember how quick Emily became a doctor. Like, Emily was a doctor in no time. But I tried to, like, make it canon in my head that it was Emily's Quartermain connections that, like, kind of, you know, got her in there. Oh, also, Angel, you wanted to marry Drew Garrett's Michael? Yeah. Drew Garrett was fine, man. Yeah, if it was all about looks, Drew Garrett's Michael. But, you know, I was trying to think of it like in a more of a realistic sense of like, who's a good guy? Who would be a good man to marry? I was trying to be less like shallow about it. Okay, DC, you said now. See, I would marry Michael because that's access to half the town. Yeah, true. Half the town from Corinthos Coffee with Monica as head of GH. And when Carly gets the Metrocorp back, I'd probably work at GH. That's fair, that's fair. Michael's a stand-up guy, too. Me and a good-looking man. Angel, he said, I'm struggling with shadowing hours. My foot is jacked. Oh, man, that's rough. And I can't shadow volunteers. Oh, you'd be a therapist at GH like Lainey or Dr. Collins. Oh, I miss Lainey. I would have, like, I don't know what the true game plan is for the Epiphany tribute episode beyond Milo coming back. And I was watching Sabrina's stream. Was it yesterday or the day before? And she mentioned the actress that was her real life friend that's coming on to pay tribute as well. But I'd love to see Lainey and Kelly back. And as many actors that were around in Epiphany's tenor, just to pay tribute to her, you know? Even if they're just sitting in the background with no lines, like, it would be nice to see some people, some familiar faces there. Hey, Michael can leave his truth, you know what I mean? Oh, man. I'll live his truth. You know, Lainey had so much potential. She really did. And I really enjoyed her story on Night Shift. On Night Shift Season 1. She had a good story with the other Cody. There was another Cody. Like, why put a character in the intro if they... Yeah, right? Man. Kent King was such a good actress, too. Like, she was good at, like, the emotional stuff. She was good at comedy. I loved her during the Girls' Night Out scenes. What happened to Dr. Laney or Kelly? How were they written off? They weren't. They just, one day, just weren't on screen anymore. Kelly came back for, like, a minute. Like, post, like, Valentini era. She came back for a minute. And then disappeared again. Like, there was just... They just ushered them off the screen quietly. Night Shift had better storylines than GH during the day. Straight facts. Yeah, you're not wrong. I loved Night Shift. Like, it was truly mind-boggling to me that they had to create a spin-off to focus on the hospital when the original show is called General Hospital. That's nuts to me. I think I liked Season 2 better than Season 1 a little bit. Only because I kind of was rolling my eyes that they had to bring Jason into the show and make him a janitor. Like, it was just so unrealistic. And what? He took the blame for Spinelli shooting him in the foot. Although, I think, character-wise, I think I did enjoy the characters from Season 1 more than the characters from Season 2. I did like that they brought Jagger back for Season 2 and brought in his son Stone. Hey, Sandy. I at first thought Kelly was... Oh, the restaurant was named after Kelly the Doctor. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't know why till I started watching, like 80s reruns on YouTube of GH, and then I saw... Was it Rose Kelly, I think her name was? Running the place? And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I never saw how, like, Ruby and Bobby and Luke ended up owning Kelly's either. I mean, obviously, Luke and Bobby after Ruby died, but I don't know how Ruby got the bar. or got the restaurant. Yeah, they had to create a spin-off to focus on the hospital when the show was called General Hospital. It was nuts. But I enjoyed it because I got to be a bit more racy on Night Shift 2 anyway, because it was primetime. GH After Dark. They got to be a bit more edgy with their lines too, and their scenes. I wish they could bring Jagger back, but I know the guy that played Jagger is really, really big in the Christian circuit of soap. Man. Wasn't Mike the owner of Kelly? Yeah, Mike was the owner at Kelly's for a little while too. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened, you know, like, I mean, I didn't really start watching regularly until 2006, so, like, Mike was always there, but, like, in watching reruns, I did see that Bobby and Luke owned it, and that they still, I guess, in some ways, kind of, like, the Spencers still kind of own it somehow. I don't know, it's confusing now. Man. Only with assistant manager? I don't even know. Wasn't Sean the manager at some point too? DC said, what sucked about Night Shift is that the storylines didn't sync up with the canvas on daytime GH. It's as if Night Shift was a fantasy. Listen, I don't know if you remember season 1 though. Because season 1 tried, or GH tried to sync it up with season 1. Because we saw all the nurses that were on Night Shift before Night Shift started. And then Night Shift happened. And then I remember the day, the day after the final episode of season 1, they brought all the stories on. And I was just thinking to myself, what about the people that didn't watch Night Shift? What must they be thinking? Because, like, all of a sudden, Jason and Spinelli were talking about, like, the shootout at the hospital. And, like, all of a sudden, like, Kelly's hanging out with Cody. Lainey's hanging out with Cody. Kelly's a sex addict, which wasn't shown on screen until after the fact. Andy Archer was there. No one knew who he was. It was just so bizarre. But Night Shift Season 2 didn't really fall into GH at all, apart from Robert having cancer. Because when Robert came back to the show a few months later onto the real life General Hospital, then it kind of, they mentioned Robert having cancer. And they just mentioned that he was in remission. It was a way of promoting Night Shift, but after that they stopped. Well, I mean, like, but they carried the storylines over to the show. They kept Layla. They kind of wrote how Layla and Patrick happened a little bit differently. Oh, Nathan, don't be sorry. I was 45 minutes late to my own stream because my computer crashed. And we're just hanging out. Right now we're just talking about Night Shift, but no, we're just chilling. Just chilling and hanging out. Port Charles Universe, where the Quartermains just had a quarter. Oh man. They finally let the Night Shift stories sync up with the day until later down. Well, I mean, so Night Shift Season 1, like, they carried over exactly from the last episode for a while. But I mean, it's hard to carry a primetime show into a daytime show, and then also, like, they obviously planned on doing Season 2. So, I don't know how they thought they were going to pull that off successfully. Port Charles even had better storylines than GH, but GH had 3 spin-offs to date. Port Charles, Night Shift, Young Marrieds back in the 70s. Man. You know, I tried with Port Charles, honestly, y'all. Like, I don't know who saw, but For those of you that were there, I tried to watch clips of, Caleb and Livy, and I was just so lost, y'all. We did a whole live stream dedicated to them, Caleb and Livy, and I just was so confused. But yeah, I like Night Shift though. And Night Shift season 2, it was kind of like the introduction to the new set of GH, like the signs of it, even though like the hospital on GH didn't burn down yet, like the set that they used on Night Shift in comparison to GH was very different and looked like more so like the set that we have today. I love Caleb and Livy. I love the chemistry between Kelly and John as those characters, but like the storyline was just confusing me. Like that has to be one of those things that I'll probably have to start, that I would have to start watching from start to finish to understand. And we were just trying to squeeze like the best moments. Port Charles is a ish, but if you watch Port Charles, you start with Port Charles, Time in a Bottle. Listen, y'all, like, everyone tried to, like, everyone was making suggestions at, like, the stories that I should watch from Port Charles when I did that live stream. But, I don't know, man. Yeah, Port Charles had a telenovela format. I can see that. Oh, and DC, you also said, I just feel like someone cursed that 2 p.m. slot since One Life to Live got canceled, and if you notice, GH hasn't been the same since they moved to that 2 p.m. time slot on ABC. I love how they hyped it up so much with that, what was it, the toxic water storyline? Poisoned the water supply in Port Charles for billions of dollars. That was the same as the Dead Man's Hand. I did like that story though, because we got probably the best location shoot they've done in like forever with that story. Growing up with GH was 2 p.m. Central, then they had move it to 1 p.m. Central. See, so for me, like, I'm trying to think. Well, because I have like Shaw Digital Cable, which is a thing here in Canada, like I can watch GH at noon, which is like 2 p.m. your time. But back when it was on at 3, it was 1 p.m. my time, so I couldn't. But obviously now I record it and watch it when I get home from work. Yeah, 3 o'clock was I'd get home from school and watch it. And I'd always miss like the first few minutes, but I still enjoyed it. The Metro Court hostage storyline, text message killer, some of the best storylines on GH. I will agree with you about Metro Court hostage. That was sick. And also, like, really the first daytime soap that did that format for sweeps, where like they'd show the climax and then go back and show how we got there. Like, it was so unique to GH at the time. I'm on Eastern time, so probably should have mentioned that. It's all good. What's it like in Canada, eh? Everyone thinks that we say eh so much. We really don't. We really don't. Currently it's cold. It's not that bad right now. But it's -7 and it's still a winter wonderland out there. There's still lots of snow. I rushed home. Yeah, I would rush home too. Especially during sweeps months, man. Yeah, the Metro Court hostage crisis was crazy. I was running home for that. But yeah, Canada's great. I love Canada. It's my home. I live in Western Canada right now, but I was born in Eastern Canada, in Montreal. Hoping to get back there by the end of the year to move back, but we'll see. Do you have Mr. Gotti? What? What's the weather like in April in Edmonton? The weather in April is unpredictable. It like so we always okay here in Alberta. Like we always joke that we don't really get a spring. Like we get winter, and then we get full spring, and then it becomes winter again, and then the snow melts, and then suddenly it's summer. So like, because it'll like completely melt in April, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere we'll get like a blast of snow, and it'll snow for like 3 feet like at the end of April, and then melt again in like 3 days. It does like it, and it just leaves like it's just messy. It's slushy. It's muddy. It's gross. And then all of May, everything is just brown. It doesn't rain. It's dry in Alberta. And then like June, it'll start to rain a lot. Well, not every June, but most Junes it'll start to rain. And then things will kind of start to bloom actually like in June. I forgot they did the time rewind with the Metrocore hostage storyline. Yeah, that was a cool part of that. I mean, they tried that again with that one shootout. I think in 2020. Was that 2020? Like when Sonny and Mike went to New York or to Brooklyn, and they got caught out in a shootout, and then Laura, Sasha, Michael, Joss all got caught out on the docks, and then Carly and Gladys got stuck in the warehouse with Brando. But they only did that from like the end of the episode. They went to the beginning of the episode and then showed it at the end. Do you like Christina's storyline of the restaurant? I liked the conversation they had. I don't like based on what how the conversation went. I don't think she's gonna do it. But I like that they had Sonny and Christina in a scene together because I think Lexi and Maurice have like really good father-daughter chemistry. And because of all that they went to when Christina was younger, like, they just, I don't know. They went through hell when Christina was in high school. And they worked out their differences. Like, there was a lot of resentment there. You know, Christina, like, being with Johnny just to piss him off. And then, you know, getting caught when in an explosion with Sonny. And all the stuff with Kiefer, too. Like, man. They went through hell, Sonny and Christina. And Lexi's one hell of an actress. I hate how underutilized she is. I think it was right when I first started watching in the mid-2000s. It was more in the Quincy Jones, and that's why rating hasn't been that good. I like it because it makes sense for a character to be like the next room. Oh man. I don't even, you know, Michael's kids. The fact that Michael even has kids, plural. Lord mercy. That kid has too many daddy issues to be a daddy. Honest to God. Alright, guys. But since... So, okay, well... Not that I'm not enjoying this conversation, but I feel like... Because it's going to be a shorter stream... We should maybe touch base on the title of the live chat or the live stream, which is predictions for the Nurses Ball in 2023, which really is just like, who do you want to see perform, and what do you want, like, what do you want to see happen? Like, I'm trying to figure out how Lucy, because Lucy's gonna get out there before the Nurses Ball. Or maybe Maxie will host it and then Lucy will just come out at the end and reveal that she's alive, but I like they're you know Lucy ain't gonna stand to not be at that Nurses Ball. They're gonna have to bring Victor down fast, y'all. So far, the only person that's managed to succeed in bringing Victor down at all is Holly. And really, she just brought one part of him down, if you get what I mean. Who's going to get arrested? Nina's going to be there. I don't think Nina will sing. Because both Ninas have been at the nurse's ball, right? So, and neither of them have ever performed. Yeah, Lucy will for sure. She's gonna fight her way to that nurse's ball. Anna and Valentine are gonna have their work cut out for them. Oh man. I think we are gonna see Magic Milo perform, which makes sense because if they're bringing him back for Epiphany's tribute, and the tribute's supposed to take place just before the nurse's ball, then I don't see why they wouldn't utilize him for the nurse's ball either. Nina's gonna get Kylie residency. Ooh, do you think we'll see Blaze perform? Blaze and Chase. Low-key, I hope that Cameron performs at the nurse's ball before he leaves town. I'd like to see one last performance of Cameron before he leaves. Trying to think. For some reason, I can picture Cody singing with Sasha. I can see Cody and Sasha doing a number at the nurse's ball. Will I enjoy it? I don't know. But we'll see. Probably see Blaze and Chase perform. I'm sure Chase will perform, yeah. Man. Because, you know, they're hyping it to be the biggest nurse's ball ever, so, like, they better bring their A game to this one. I'd love to see Liesl perform. By the way, I love that, because you know how they've been doing actors talking about the GH60th on their, like, Instagram and Twitter or whatever, and how I didn't realize, so many people didn't realize that that's not Liesl's voice, or Kathleen Gotti's real voice in real life. It's so hilarious. Just reading through the comments and everyone being like, she's not really German? And I'm like, this girl is from Alberta. Like, Kathleen Gotti is from Alberta, y'all. She's from where I live. Just like Jason Thompson was. Blaze related to somebody in that show. I don't know. I don't see her being related to anyone. But I think I want to see more of Blaze. She seems like an intriguing character. Like, they could make her really interesting. Uncle Jesse's daughter. That would be an interesting twist. French Canadian? Do you mean Jason Thompson? I don't think he's French Canadian. There's a lot of GH Canadians. Like Dominic Zamprogna is Canadian too, I believe. And can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but the actor that played Julian Jerome, I'm pretty sure he's Canadian as well. Or at least lived in Canada for a while. Canadians representing, man. Original Jordan was from Canada as well. The woman that plays Lisa? Do you mean Lisa Niles? Man, who else would I like to see perform at the nurse's ball, though? Yeah, Jason T. Yeah, Jason T. is just Canadian. Like he's from Edmonton or like probably St. Albert or wherever. He's from Edmonton area, which is just Western Canada. Like there ain't no French in him. But I think Julian Jerome is French Canadian though. Why do I think that? I feel like he might be. Or at least he lived in Quebec at some point. Oh man. Laura's the sister, adopted sister? Do you mean Amy Vining? Amy Vining. Well, they had her. It's so funny because when they first brought back the Nurses Ball, they did address Shel Kepler, and say that the character of Amy had passed. Whereas GH, they never mentioned the character dying, like in the Guza days, because when she passed away, it was the Guza era, and all they did for Shel was just, after like a mob-centric episode, just put her like picture on the screen, and that was it. No tribute to the character. I mean, mind you, like Laura wasn't on the show at the time. None of the characters. I mean, all the veterans were pretty much off the show. So no characters that were still on the show regularly even knew who Amy Vining was. But I did love that they paid tribute to her in a way, like post 2013, by bringing on a character named Amy who was also a gossip. I mean, she's nothing like the OG Amy, but I like that they basically made a nod to the character by having another gossipy Amy on the show. I do want to see her perform too. Like, I do hope that we get to see like the nurses that usually like all appear at the Nurses Ball and then disappear. So like Felix and Amy and Deanna. Also, like, would it like, one thing I've never understood, aside from like the 2013 Nurses Ball, Elizabeth has never really participated in the ball. Like, she even stopped being in the opening numbers with the rest of the nurses. That confused the hell out of me. Just be in it. I don't know if it's just Becky saying no. Becky needs to just be in it. She's a nurse. It's just, you suffer for your art, girl. Like, this is just part of the job. You are playing a nurse, therefore you must partake in the Nurses Ball and more than just sitting in the audience. You need to be on the stage with the rest of the nurses during the opening numbers. And then I think the only other like number she's been in, like post 2013 era, was like the Raise Your Glass performance with Kiki Jerome when Kristen Alderson was playing her. I don't know. I don't see that Amy being related to Amy Vining. Because Laura would have, Laura would know. Laura would definitely know. Like, Amy Vining wouldn't have kept that from her sister or Leslie for that matter. But yeah, I need Elizabeth to perform, and not off screen, because remember how like Elizabeth and AJ supposedly performed, but we never seen it, and they just ran off the stage. They be doing that to Elizabeth all the time, even during freaking Portia and Curtis's wedding. Her speech happened off screen. They do this to her all the time. I don't understand. I swear the show just hates the character. Wonder if she mentioned Amy, any of her. That is the dentist? What? I think they cut the scene. I don't even think they shot the scene, to be honest. Hopefully Liz gets to keep her job. Oh yeah, that's true. We're finding out if she's gonna keep her job. She probably will. I mean, good lord, if they kept Dr. Obrecht as the chief of staff and Britt as the chief of staff, given what they've done in their history, they'd be hypocrites to not keep Elizabeth on. Especially given how many years she's devoted to the hospital. But Lisa might try to sabotage Liz's performance. If she tries. Man, if they're, if they're celebrating GH 60th for this Nurses Ball as well, then I would want to see... I'd like to see Rick Springfield back again. I'd also love them to bring freaking... I've been saying Jesse, but like Blackie in the Riff Raff. Like, it's just been, at this point, they seem to mention him every now and then on Nurses Balls. Like, oh, he was supposed to perform or be here, but something happened. Like, pay the man whatever he wants and bring him on the show. Y'all are getting the budget for the 60th anniversary, I'm sure. At least for the standalone episode, you know what I mean? Bring on some stars. Rick Springfield got a new album though? I really like Rick Springfield. I like his music. Even though he was like performing some of them as Eli Love back in the day. I'd listen to those Rick Springfield's albums at the time too. Like that "Who Killed Rock and Roll" song that he did at the which one was that? I think he performed that at Lifebeat. The Lifebeat storyline with that was like an AIDS benefit. Or were both times that Eli Love performed like AIDS related benefits? Can't remember. Was Blackie related to anyone on the show? I don't think so. Was he adopted? I feel like he was adopted. But he wasn't related to anyone. We can look that up. Actually, no, I'm scared to touch my computer, y'all. I don't want to ruin the live stream, so I'm not going to touch my computer. Y'all can Google it for me. Yeah, Rick Springfield was a legend, man. What's Victoria See? Yeah, that was a good song too. And tell me her name, 'cause I really wanna see her. Yeah, that's a good song. I liked it. Also, What's Victoria's Secret sounds a lot like Jesse's Girl. Like, in terms of the instrumentation. Very, very similar. Man, I mean, storyline-wise, the storylines that got Eli Love there were so cringe, but, like, it was all in good fun, because it was always summer, but they, like... As good as Finola Hughes is at comedy, like... I just I can't fathom the way they used to write that character as basically like you know, this middle-aged super spy who's having a midlife crisis about possibly becoming a grandmother. Like, all of that was just nuts. All that was nuts to me. Same song, different chords, but not punk. Yeah, Rick's not punk rock. He's got like, I don't know. He's just I can't like pop rock maybe. Instrumental the same but different lyrics. But I think he was probably going for that. He probably planned it that way. Because, you know, essentially Rick Springfield was kind of a one-hit wonder in terms of, like, really, really big hits. Like, yeah, he was, like, well-known, especially in the 80s. But no one talks about any of the other songs. It's all about Jesse's Girl. I like that they had Rick Springfield play himself at the Nurses Ball on the 50th year. And also Noah Drake. And they also mentioned Eli Love. Like, there was just, like, it was just so bizarre. So there's just, you know, triplets out there that all look alike, and two of them happen to sing and sound exactly alike and be Australian. Power pop. He's got a great voice, though. Oh, man. Well, in any case, I hope the Nurses Ball doesn't disappoint. You know, so far the 60th year has been a bit lackluster. It's had its moments so far. Like, you know, I really enjoyed the stuff with Holly and Victor and Anna and Felicia and Valentine, Robert, Laura, all working together to bring Victor down. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to usher Tracy into the storyline, and if we actually will get Luke back. What is a cousin to Punk Pop? Grand cousin to what? Man. I don't know. I like music that can make me feel things, and generally speaking, the music that makes me feel the most is like pop punk and heavy metal and like just like good classic 80s pop ballads, no matter, you know, well, any ballad from the 80s is just phenomenal. Anything with an electric guitar solo gets me. Care more about the Epiphany episode than the Nurses Ball. Well, I think one's going to lead into the other, and there ain't no way they're going to do the Nurses Ball and not pay tribute at the Nurses Ball for Epiphany as well. Because Epiphany, you know, she was a big part of the ball since 2013 as well. So I think it's going to be a bit of a somber one. And they, you know, in this planning of the Nurses Ball storyline, they're talking about making it a celebration of the people that they lost from GH. So we know that Epiphany is going to be still a huge part of the Nurses Ball. Yeah, I'd love to see Tony Geary come back. I'm not holding my breath, but like it would feel very weird and very wrong that like Victor didn't kill anybody else, but just killed Luke. Like, you'd think that he'd be held hostage somewhere too. But mind you, he should have been held hostage in Paris with Lucy if that was the case. But he wasn't. Who knows? These Cassadines be holding people hostage and we still don't even talk about it. Valentine's still got, like, Charlotte's surrogate mom held hostage somewhere and no one's talking about it. It's been like 8 years. Tony ain't coming back for us. Facts. But man, they should, I don't know. I just feel like they should establish that Luke is alive somehow. Even if Tony isn't a part of it. Alright, y'all, but I know it hasn't been a long live stream because of the technical difficulties, but we should be wrapping it up a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to be here on Sunday to recap the show as a whole during the week. It's stupid they unalived Luke off screen anyway. True. True. I agree with you there. Man, and like also wait until Lulu wakes up and finds out her father is dead. Man. Like, oh, I do want Tony to come back, because, like, you know, GH wouldn't have been around for the 60 years without Tony Geary and Jeannie Francis really saving the show back in the 80s. You know, Luke and Laura did a lot for the show, and it wouldn't, you know, it lasted because of them. If Lulu wakes up. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, they're gonna have to wake her up at some point. I don't see the show bringing Emmy Rylan back as Lulu, and I don't see Julie Marie Berman wanting to come back either. Who do you think will wake up first, Lulu or Nicholas? Probably Nicholas. Probably Nicholas. And only because they don't get Julie back as Lulu. You know what I mean? Man, Luke and Laura, they did save daytime. It's a bit polarizing now, isn't it? But, like, you know, their chemistry was undeniable. The rewrites that they did back then really worked in their favor for the time that it was, and you know, eventually they brought it full circle by being honest about the story back then in the 90s. And then Jeannie Francis, she speaks on, you know, she can't justify it and she refuses to. And good for her. Bring who back? Wait, who, what? Who for Cody? Oh, Lulu back for Cody. Oh god, I don't know. Honestly, like, listen, you guys know that I love Cody, but I can't picture Emmy's Lulu or Julie's Lulu with Cody. I can't see it. Do you know the rewrite with Death of the 70s understanding of love that they would know will consume? I don't get what you mean. Lulu with Dante. Yeah, like obviously if they bring Lulu back, they're gonna put the Lulu and Dante back together. But you know what? Like, Lulu and Dante was not my favorite Lulu couple. Lulu and Johnny were my favorite couple. Sam with Cody, since they both know how to run a con. Oh my goodness. I mean, they seem to, I don't know. Sam obviously isn't very fond of Cody. But that could be a messy relationship. Maybe Sam can cheat on Dante with Cody, and that'll push Dante back into Lulu's arms. And I don't know. They can just be messy together, I guess. I don't know. I think they're going to roll with Sasha and Cody when the time is right. And they have okay chemistry. Like, I'm neither here nor there for them. Oh yeah, 70s and understanding. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was... Yeah. Yeah, it was really considered that, and I guess maybe that lessened the blow. I mean, I can't say for certain. We'd have to talk to, like, the fans that watched back then, how they felt, because social media wasn't around. We didn't see the opinions of fans as much, because they'd get the fan mail, and it's not like it's posted on Twitter, or, you know, it's not like websites existed back then. Sam didn't like Dante at first either, but look at them now. True. True. Alright, y'all, but I'm going to end it here, just so y'all can get some sleep. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Honestly, you have no idea how I was raging at my computer the whole time. And if my microphone was live, I was cursing up a storm, y'all. I was so mad. 40 minutes late to the live stream. Sam these days have been nothing but filler. True. At the same time, that goes for many other characters. Yeah, very, very. Unlike a certain few I won't name. True. I wish we could see Teen Danny. Yeah, Teen Danny and Teen Rocco. I'd love to see them both. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it more on Sunday. So thanks so much for tuning into the live stream, y'all. Thank you for your patience again. If you like the live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, though. And I will catch you guys this Sunday. Peace out. Mwah.